Hello everybody, and DanDaDan's next episode, episode 2, has just dropped. We start off where we ended with Ken going ahead and attacking our good friend Jin, and the giant worm is still attacking them. So it turns out this thing seems to be working through vibrations. Whenever someone slams on the floor, it can hear that and attacks in that area. Jin has a flashback of his parents trying to off themselves, which I had no idea is how that was how they died. And now Ken Takakura and Momo Ayase are both trying to no longer be alive. Ken is stopped by our good friend Jin, and Momo accidentally stabs the cat instead of herself. We find out the reason why they're doing this is because this giant worm thing is actually trying to get them to do this through this supernatural power it seems to have. For some reason, it's not affecting Jin, so Jin goes ahead and grabs both of them and starts running while also restraining them so then they don't hurt themselves. We keep getting this flash of this strange figure, cocoon, standing off in this purple mist. We don't know what that is yet. And this guy shows up right in front of Jin here. No idea who this guy is yet. I'm sure we'll learn soon. And this guy seems to be able to stop Momo and Ken from trying to hurt themselves. We then get this backstory of this kid who was tortured and burned at the stake, came back as a spirit. And we even see a history of this little kid looking into the eyes of children and having their parents no longer wish to do the aliving. We also see the family from earlier is also responsible for this kid with the bowl haircut dying, or at least being in the situation where he should die. And now that weird bowl haircut guy is riding on top of Jin, trying to lead him somewhere. Eventually Jin runs down here and finds this corpse on this stake with long silver hair, and it seems like this is the same thing that we saw earlier in the backstory. This strange bowl haircut guy seems to be somewhat related to this guy. Very protective of him as well. I'm assuming he was the kid from the past who was then taken over by the long gray-haired guy. The giant worm then starts puking up tons of this orange goo that turns out to be electric, and it starts covering Momo and Jin as they are in this room. Momo starts trying to escape, knowing that this is a very bad situation to be in, while Jin stands there and tries talking to the undead thing. Ends up trying to make friends with it and says, "Hey, it's you and me forever." That was a bad idea, because now it seems to be taking over his body. We then learn from the cat that it turns out that Jin has been called a genius by her grandmother for good reason, because he has supernatural powers out the wazoo. So anything supernatural is trying to get their hands on this guy, and he just invited this one in. Then we see a scene of him being possessed and whacking the crap out of this worm. This is him. This is now him being possessed. He no longer has control over his body, and he seems to be attacking this worm with a soccer ball made of spiritual energy. He then goes to attack Momo, because this spirit seems to be after killing all of humanity, Momo being a part of that. And of course, just in the nick of time, Okarun shows up, fully decked out. He was unable to move just a minute ago, but of course, seeing his darling Momo Ayase being in trouble, he gains the strength miraculously to move again. When her life is in threat by a worm? No, can't move. When her life is in threat because of the guy who's competing with him for her attention, ain't no way he is stopping. He is going to hurt that guy. What do you guys think about this episode? Honestly, there's a lot going on here. I can see how this might be seen as a very emotional point in the anime, with this kid who's never had friends being tortured at the stake, burned to death by lava, then buried underground for who knows how many hundreds of years. Now gaining control over Jin, who he kind of made his parents try to die purposefully. And then, you know, Okarun here trying to save his not really girlfriend. Very interesting. I think the fact that he has powers now, if he can control this at some point, that'll actually make him a good rival for Okarun, because obviously him having powers and Jin not having powers makes for a pretty easy choice on who I would choose if I was a girl. Like, yeah, a guy with superpowers 100%, especially because, like, besides that, I think they're pretty evenly matched and everything. So go ahead and leave your thoughts in the comments, and like and subscribe if you want more of this kind of content. And until next time, have a blessed day.
And while you're here, go ahead and check out this video to see what you might have missed.